Hi everyone, this is Rob from the Geelong Jail Museum in Geelong, Victoria. But tonight I'm actually standing at the front of the Old Melbourne Gaol, which is an absolute fantastic jail to explore. Now the Old Melbourne Gaol, as it's known today, was actually the second jail to be built in Victoria out of a set of 12, and it opened in 1845 and closed in 1924. But tonight, I just want to talk to you about probably Victoria's most famous execution. One of Victoria's most famous executions. We had 187 executions in Victoria, and 5 of those were women. But of those 187 executions, 3 were for political gain. And probably the most famous of them is Ned Kelly. Ned Kelly, for those of you that don't know, is one of the most famous outlaws in Australian history. And he was executed in Old Melbourne Gaol on the 11th of November 1880. The gallows are inside this door. Then on the other side of the courtyard is the actual jail proper, and he was executed there. Now the interesting thing about Ned Kelly's execution is that there was a petition signed by Victorians in 1880 to stop his execution. 32,000 Victorians signed the petition to stop Ned being executed. That was almost a fifth of Victoria's population, and he was still executed. So it's amazing to see why they did it. But out the front here is really important for Ned Kelly's execution. This is where hundreds of people gathered for the execution, waiting to see what would happen. So you can just imagine the somber feeling where I am now, just waiting for the execution at the front gates of the jail. Now what would happen after the execution is that the bell would ring to state that it had finished, and a black flag would be hoisted above the jail to tell the public that the execution had happened and that the condemned criminal had actually died. But for Ned Kelly, it was quite an interesting execution, quite sad. He was aware of the execution was going to take place, and his shackles were taken off at 9 AM and the execution would happen at 10 AM. Now his executioner was a guy by the name of Eliza Upjohn. Now of all the executioners in Victoria, all of them were criminals, paid for the privilege of killing another prisoner, all got time off their sentence. And for Elijah, this was actually his first execution, which is really, really sad. Now there's an art to an execution, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can be quite disturbing. And for Ned, I can't imagine it would have been overly well. But Ned's final words, or famous final words, many people believe, was "such is life." What a fitting way for such a famous bushranger to die here in Melbourne on the gallows of Old Melbourne Gaol. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little clip. Thank you for listening. Wacko, history is so amazing. If you are in Geelong, drop down, say good day. We are about to turn 170 at the Old Geelong Gaol this month. Very exciting. Thanks guys.